Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with the instant post-match reaction. Newcastle United are through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. Did not do it in an easy way. Typical Newcastle these days. We drew the game. We won on pens. It was nerve-wracking. It was nail-biting, but Newcastle managed to get the job done, mainly thanks to two stinking pens from Nottingham Forest. We're going to have a quick match reaction here because it is a little bit late where we are in the UK. Don't know where you are in the world. Let us know in the comments below. We always like to hear from our international fans as well as domestic. So we'll get stuck right into this in a minute. Just before we do, a little reminder, if you haven't already, smash subscribe. We'd love you to come and join us. We're over 8,500 subs now. Mark has changed the button. So we're heading close to that 9,000 mark, which is amazing. I keep trying to say 9,000K. I wish we had 900,000 subscribers. Maybe one day, who knows? But yeah, once we get a 9K, we've got a great prize, which we'll announce. So smash that button, guys, if you haven't already. Recommend us to family and friends. It's all free content evermore. But if you want to be a member, then you can smash that button and become a member for less than £2 a month, just like Brian has done. Thank you very much, Brian, for clicking that button. Welcome on board, mate. You won't regret it, I promise. Some great content in Evermore, great community chat as well. Nobody's an arsehole because, as I always say, if you're a prick, you get the flick. That's what I generally do. I run a tight ship in the comments, mate. But thanks for clicking the button and thanks for getting on board. So let's get stuck in then. So, like I say, breathe a sigh of relief. A big week for Newcastle United. The first hurdle was this game tonight. Let's have a look how we lined up. The big news, there was no getting away from the big news. He was back. The Italian stallion, Sandro Tonali, in the heart of our midfield. Unbelievable. Our number 8, one of our ex-players was number 8 for them, Elliot Anderson, who we were all keeping an eye on as well. But it was a strong team. You can see Kieran Trippier came back in to captain the side. It was the midfield of Joe Linton, Tonali, Willock was in there as well. The back four, was obviously Byrne, Hall and Emil Kraft. I thought he was excellent tonight, to be honest with you, at centre-half. And obviously Miggy and Barnes and Isak were the front three. So it was a really strong team fielded by Eddie Howe, and you really thought, we could do something here. And Christ almighty, if you blinked, you would have missed it. 18 seconds, I think it was, or something daft like that. We were 1-0 up. So Tonali's on the ball, straight away he's into it. You just felt a buzz. He wanted to get into the game as soon as possible. And I mean, Jesus, we'll talk a bit more about Sandro in a minute, but 10 months out and he was as sharp as that. Fucking hell. I mean, what's he going to be like when he actually gets back to match sharpness? Is going to be incredible. I'm sure a lot of the adrenaline took him over the line tonight, but my God, he looked great. So he's involved. And I must admit, God, I've given the kid so much shit on this channel, but what a ball by Mickey Almiron through to Alexander Isak, who breaks, shoots across the goalkeeper, this gigantic monster of a goalkeeper, and he makes the save. He parries it out. Joe Willock follows it up, a little toe poke the back of the net, and we're 1-0 up, and you're thinking, right, come on, Newcastle, go for the jugular, go. But as is the case with Newcastle, not just this season, but towards the end of last season as well, I think the injuries masked it. As one of my mates was saying to me, we were texting through the game. Big shout out to Stevie Mack if he's watching. But yeah, I don't understand why we step off teams now rather than stepping up. I mean, Forest were completely shell-shocked at that early goal. They didn't know where the fuck to look. They were really kind of wobbly towards the first kind of 5-10 minutes after that goal went in. But we didn't press. We didn't push on. We didn't try. I mean, Sandro gets through again. It gets a lovely through ball. I can't remember if it's is it Miggy again? Possibly Miggy slips him through. Or might even been Isak. He gets through one-on-one. Keeper comes out, makes a good save. The keeper's fucking gigantic, to be fair. But then we step off Forest, and Forest wake up and they start getting into the game. I thought Elliot Anderson had a lot of nice touches on the ball tonight. He looked really sharp, looked really good. The big lad, the number 9 up front for them, Anuewu was a real handful without being clinical, which I think is a good thing for us tonight, because had he been more clinical and more sharp, I think we might have been in trouble. Barnes looked quite lively. Him and Hall were linking up really well on the left-hand side. I really like what Lewis Hall did tonight, defensively and offensively. I thought he looked excellent tonight. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm going to go early. It was a scrappy as fuck game, and it was really hard to pick a man of the match, but I was going to go for Lewis Hall as my man of the match. Let us know your man of the match, guys, as the comments fly in. But for me, I just think that it was a scrappy game from Newcastle, even though we started so strong. The gutting thing as well for Joe Willock. I mean, honestly, has this kid upset a witch doctor somewhere or something like that. Jesus Christ. He goes off injured about, 18 minutes after he scores the goal. The poor bastard, he's got, it looks like a dead leg, hopefully. So it's not going to be anything too severe. But you just can't catch a fucking break, can you, Joe Willock, to be fair? Let's get a couple of your comments in there, guys, as we're in as well. Graham says, fuck me, the greatest game. Absolutely. Roger concurs. Few says, Peter. Joe Linton says, got away with that. You got away with your penalty, Joe Linton, as well. Mind you, that keeper was gigantic. William says, well, that was easy. Absolutely. Peter says, as long as we won, 100%, Peter, that's what it's all about, mate. Ian's in the comments tonight as well. Good to see you too, Ian. Marcus has said, sounds like a lot I need to catch up with when I get home. Damn, because you've had no TV tonight, mate. Go watch the highlights probably won't make great watching, but the drama in the end was good. God, we were shit, says the weird. We weren't half, mate, to be honest with you. We've got Blue Geordie. It's 7:70 a.m. Well, good morning to you, mate, in Bendigo, Australia. Thank you for jumping in to the comments. We've also got somebody just after midnight in Greece, but buzzing, can't sleep. What a performance from Sandro, says Costas. Well, we'll keep you in the chair until the sleepy dust starts to form in your eyes, Costas. But yeah, Sandro, absolutely brilliant, to be fair. Peter says Man City in the next round. Has that even been drawn yet? I haven't even looked. The TV's on the back already. If I'm concentrating on you guys, I wouldn't be fucking surprised, to be honest with you, the way our things are going. Comment from Raymond saying, you were correct regarding your win on Penn's prediction. Yeah, I said 2-1, didn't I? I don't think I said on Penn's, to be fair. I wanted it to be a little bit more definitive than that. The bearded Toon fan, something not right, but he really worried. Something doesn't look right with the performances, I must admit. Sandro gave us the buzz tonight. I think having him back was the big story. And again, he looked good. He looked sharp, on the ball. He was tidy. He has that vision. You can see he looks at the pass. He's seen the pass. He was spraying balls out wide. I thought Trips did well in the time that he was on the park as well. Then when Tino come on after that, I thought he looked quite good as well. So we might as well talk about their goal, because it is a little bit of a calamity of errors. Obviously, Willock goes off. Bruno comes on. Bruno looked good, looked decent enough. He moved around and got the ball, moved it well. Brilliant in the penalties, Bruno, pumping the crowd up and everything else. But the goal comes in as I think Bruno gets suckered in. There's two of them. I think there's Burncraft and Bruno gets suckered in. The ball kind of rolls to the Portugal's number one, Jack Grealish impersonator. And he smacks it in off the post, but fuck me, he swung a leg at it and it went in. And you would have thought Alan Smith thought he was talking about, Pele in his prime or something, the way he was wanking off the guy in the commentary. Kept talking about Jack Grealish every 2 minutes. You can tell he's a Villa fan, is Alan Smith, but a bit fucking shit, really. But I will give Sky credit, though. The punditry was way better in the studio. Love Chappers. I think Chappers is one of the best presenters in the game, to be honest with you. Big Les, can't disagree with Big Les. And then Michael Dawson, who's really excited to be there. But he's a really good guy, Mike Dawson. I do like him. So they had a decent punditry team as opposed to Liverpool FC like I had the other day. But yeah, Smith was crap on the commentary. But yeah, the goal goes in the back of the net. We're not really pushing and pressing. Barnes started fading the game. Gordon came on. I liked it when Gordon and Barnes were swapping sides. That's a nice sign of things. Maybe that's something that he's told them to try. And if you can start them two against Spurs, maybe that can be really killer against Spurs. But Isak just looked leggy tonight for me, guys. He looked not at it. His movement wasn't as sharp. He did get kicked a couple of times as well. A few of the lads got kicked, to be fair. Tino got kicked. Willock got caught late, which is why he went off with his dead leg in the first place. We haven't heard what the problem is. So we pushed and we probed and we tried. We had the better chances than Forest did. Forest played the ball around quite well. I think Elliot Anderson tries a beautiful little chip, to be fair. If that had gone in, I would have been sick as fuck, but it would have been a great goal. But yeah, we kind of pushed a little bit towards the end. Had a few chances. Lewis Hall with a brilliant curler. The keeper saved. I thought that was destined for top bins, like he did against Manchester United. Barnes cut inside again, hit the side net, and after some beautiful link-up play between him and Tino, which again is promising. But then couldn't get the job done in the end. Went to pens, and then obviously the penalties, fucking hell. So, the Forest pens are decent, and then Joe Linton steps up, rattles it, strikes it quite hard, and this huge 6'8" goalkeeper spreads himself wide, saves the pen, and you're thinking, oh, fucking hell, here we go. And then, we go through the pens. Bruno takes his pen, pumps the crowd up, and it's almost that little bit of extra incentive. I don't know if it threw the Forest players off the game, But it was the midfielder stepped up. Was it Nagate? He looked like he couldn't be arsed when he stepped up. He looked like he was struggling, and then he hits the pen off the bar, whacks it off the bar, and then away we stands up, and I think George said in the comments earlier, he kicks a fucking field goal, and we're back in the game, and then who wins it? But everyone's favourite scapegoat, as people call him, Sean Longstaff. Now don't lie to me. When Sean Longstaff was the lad stepping up to take, a lot of you probably went, "Oh shit!" But what a penalty by Sean! Stroked it away, calm as you like. He's getting interviewed on Sky now. Beautiful pen by Sean. Fucking fair play to him there, straight at the back of the net. We've got a super chat in from Insanity. Thank you very much for your donation, buddy. Hi, Chris. Buzzing that we won today and some positives to take from the game, but I feel as we got a little bit lucky against the Forest B team. Keep it up. Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was a Forest B team. They weren't particularly great in terms of, the first team players. I mean, I think I said to my mate in the text, if Morgan Gibbs-White had been playing, I think we could have been in some serious fucking trouble. If prime R9 Chris Wood had been playing, who ripped us to shreds at St James's, we might have been in trouble. If Alanga had started, we might have been in trouble with the pace. But I think Hall had the pace to catch up with those players. So that wasn't too bad. And we got away with that, but again, the performances aren't particularly great. We're stepping off teams rather than stepping up. We're not using the ball as well. There were some slick movements tonight, between the wingers and the fullbacks. I love the little links between Barnes and Tino and Barnes and Hall. And then on the other side, when Gordon came over as well, Gordon and Tino, so I really think there's something to build on there. Trips did well. Obviously came off for Tino. I think it was around about the hour mark, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know what it means for Trips. He captained the team. Eddie Howe's talked to him, so I don't know whether he wants to keep him, whether we are going to keep him, whether maybe Trips is still looking for a move. I don't know. We've got a couple of days here before the transfer window ends, and that's the next big challenge for the football club. Yes, we've got through tonight by the skin of our teeth. We've got Spurs at the weekend, but we have to sign at least Mark Gahey or another centre half to come in and fill that position. And my way we could do with a right winger too. Miggy looked sharper tonight, I must admit. I don't know what it was. I don't know whether he had a point to prove, but he looked sharper tonight. He looked like he was at it, Miggy. But he has games like that, and then he disappears off the radar for the next 10. Same with Jacob Murphy. They're inconsistent. That's why they're not top players. So, but the promising side of it was, I think, when Barnes and Gordon were on the pitch again, there was a little bit of of dynamic play there. There was movement. There was quality. Gordon looked a little bit more up for tonight. A great penalty by Gordon, tucked it away superbly well. And again, didn't celebrate, just maybe had the old ice coldness about him, you know what I mean? But yeah, I must admit, I was impressed. A bit more impressed with Gordon's work rate when he came on, other than that. So I'm just laughing at Ian's comments there. Was that keeper growing a lad? Fucking massive. He did remind me of Lurch, to be fair, Ian. Huge. I wouldn't fancy knocking a pen past him. Good evening to you too as well, Golden. Graham was saying, shitting myself every time the ball went into Pope's box. He is shite. He did flap it a couple, Graham, I must admit. The first half, I think, when I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He looked like he was clapping somebody in the crowd. Ball goes right over the top of him. Fair play to Dan Byrne. Tracked it well, cleared off the line, but that could have ended up really, really bad. The bearded Toon fan is saying, Tonali or Gordon, when came up, what's up with Isak? Look, poor for 3 games. Now, normally Isak needs a couple of games to hit his stride, but he just looks so off it at the minute. There's no Callum Wilson to play instead of him. Salah is, he's a number 3 choice. Obviously, Eddie doesn't bring him off the bench tonight, and you have to wonder, does he think he's ready? If he's not bringing him off the bench, I thought Isak could have got subbed as well, probably in the hour mark. Give us Salah half an hour, cause some trouble, make some runs, get involved, hold the ball up or whatever, get other people into the game. But Isak has that ability just to turn on out of nowhere. Some nice touches, but rusty. Looks rusty. Doesn't look like he's at it. I don't know what it is with him. Hopefully he can shake out of that. His favourite team is coming up at the weekend. We know Alexander Isak loves a goal against Spurs. So maybe this will be the game that strikes him into life. Vincent says, keeper pulled off a great save tonight. Oh, yeah, that was a brilliant save, to be fair. I thought that was destined for the top corner. I love how Hall can do that, can just tuck inside with that left peg of his. He's got a beautiful whip shot on that left peg. The lad gets more confidence in his game. I really do think he could be dangerous as fuck from set pieces as well with that left peg, because I think he's such a good player. Roger says, Hall was, in my opinion, trying a shitload visibly better. Still a lot to do defensively. Sorry, Roger, I don't know if that's me being late there, misreading that, mate. But yeah, I think defensively, he is going to get caught out. He's only 19. I was saying this to my pal as well through the game that he's brave on the ball, Lewis Hall, and because of that, he will give passes away, he will lose possession. But look at some of those balls that he tries through the lines. The weight of them is almost perfect. I think he hit a couple of Barnes that just got cut out by the Forest defenders. Once he starts getting them off, he's going to rip teams to pieces because there's a gap that appears in between the midfield, the fullback, and the centre half, and there's a little channel there. And Lewis Hall has that vision and ability to slip that ball through. So does Sandro Tonali. And if you have those two players on the park who can find that ball with Isak's pace or Barnes' pace or Gordon's pace, we will really tear teams to pieces once those passes start coming off. So yeah, just keep the faith with the young lads. I think he's going to be a really, really good player. Tim says, take it through the next round. Stand out with Sandro. He was class. I mean, it's hard not to give him man the match for nostalgia. Obviously, he went off at the I think it was the hour mark, fell short Longstaff, didn't he? But I mean, he was brilliant. He was absolutely class. As Snaky says there, Tonali's pass completion was outrageous. I've not looked at his stats on the SofaScore stats, but he was absolutely brilliant. Let's have a little look while we're all talking, guys, shall we? And I'll have a little look here. Let's just see what's going on with the old SofaScores. Let's have a little gander and see what's occurring. I don't move around as quick as Mark does on this one, so let's have a little look and see where we're at with it. Where is he? I'm probably better looking at my phone, I think. Where are we? Here. Right, here we go. Right, let's get the lineups and let's have a look at what Sandro's passing stats were like, everybody. Let's have a little look. Show more. Where are we? Here we go. Let's have a look. Sandro Tonali. It's a 6.4 on SofaScore. That's a dreadfully harsh score. Yeah, 79% was Sandro Tonali's passing completion there, guys, in case you wanted to know. Yeah, but I thought he was brilliant. I thought for being 10 months out, I thought he was absolutely class, to be fair. Brune doesn't agree, says results masks big problems going backwards. Doesn't look great in terms of the performances, I must admit, but we're getting the result, and you got to take that as a positive, guys. At least we're getting the result. Big Joe struggled again, says Darwin. I thought that as well. I thought he was not great tonight. I think Mark said it on What's Going On. He wasn't great on the ball. Once again, he lost possession a lot. He was fumbling to get the ball out of his feet. If that had been any other player than Joe, we probably would have got battered, to be fair. Seymour Force says, not a great game, but really important result for the season. I feel that could kickstart our season. Tonali had a Pirlo look about him tonight. You do get the Pirlo comparisons, don't you? I think it's the hair, mate, to be honest with you. Comment there from George. How does Sean Longstaff get back in with Willock, provisional, and Tonali back? I don't think he does. I don't think Sean should get back in, but Eddie likes him. He likes his running. I think against Spurs, I think we've got a really good opportunity there. So I'll just get that comment off there. We've got a really good opportunity to go at Spurs, but it depends what Spurs shows up. I mean, if Spurs are really at it, they can be a really dangerous side. But I think Spurs can be so powder puff and open. If we have players like Tonali, as I say, if Willock's at it, if Isak shows up, Barnes and Gordon, with the ability of Bruno, with Tonali, with Hall from wide, slipping them passes through, as I said, we could tear that team to pieces like we have done in the last two fixtures where we've played them at home. But, Spurs will want revenge against us. So that's not going to be an easy game. Jonathan says, buzzing with a win. Cheers from Texas. Cheers to you, mate. Thank you so much for tuning in from Texas as well. Let's have a look here. Scrolling down the old buttons. Bear with us. Just trying to get as many as I can there. Craig Lee says, I've never seen a cooler last pen from a Newcastle player. Ice cold from Longstaff. He was as cold as a winter's day on Tynemouth Beach, wasn't he, mate? I'll give him that. It was brilliant from Sean, to be fair. He gets a lot of shit off people, sometimes fairly, sometimes unfairly. But I thought he was excellent there tonight. I really did. Andy F says, Isak not getting the ball service yet. Yeah, there is a little bit of that. And Sandy says, Tino looks sharp. Yeah, I thought he did. I thought his attacking play was there. Insanity, which it wasn't against Bournemouth. I loved the little run when he went forward and checked back in for Barnes, hit side net. And I thought that was going to be in. That would have been a great move, to be fair. And the signs are there something to work with. Yeah, I totally agree with that, Brian. Alan Smith was dying for them to win. I think he had a bet on, to be honest with you, the way he was cheering them on when that goal went in. It was quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. Coming there from Gavin Giles, Gordon couldn't give a damn now. Once away, hardly celebrate with the team. Idiot. Well, I don't know if he does want away. The window's going to shut soon, and if Gordon's still here, Gordon will be class for us as he was last season, I'm sure. If he wants away, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, unless they pull a couple of brilliant wingers out their arse on the final day of the window and Gordon goes to Liverpool, we don't know. I don't trust the board as much as my little skip video the other day. I'm sure you all enjoyed that. But I don't think the wingers coming in, if I'm honest. I think it's just going to be the centre half, and I think we'll make do with what we've got. I don't think Gordon will leave. I think Gordon will stay, and hopefully he'll put in the same performance as he did last season. Peter saying Hall is class 19 and already terrific. Do you know this, Peter? I agree with you. I'm really struggling to think who's a better English left back in the league than Lewis Hall at the minute when he's playing like that. I mean, he's up there. I'm not saying he walks into an England team yet, but he's definitely up there. For a left back. I mean, Chilwell is knackered and out of favour. Luke Shaw is always knackered. Trippier's playing left back for his country at the minute. So tell me someone who's better. I don't think there's many, to be honest with you. Dean is saying, wow, out of jail there. Go on, Longy lad. Absolutely, 100%. He does deserve the praise, does Sean, tonight. He does, because he gets a lot of shit, and he's got us through in the cup. So fair play to the lad from Shields. Steve saying 5:30 a.m. in Shanghai, but happy to at least see us through the next round at home. Get in. As the fixtures come out, have they? They still haven't come out yet, have they? So we will be at home then against one of the Champions League teams. I'm just looking on the TV now. I don't think they've actually drawn them yet, have they, to be fair? So yeah, we'll get fucking City at St James's Day, but we'll beat them last time, so fuck it, bring them on. Comment there from Tom Wood saying we lost out on Chiesa. 100% agree with that, mate. I thought that's a horrendous move by the club that we haven't tried that lad for 11 million quid or something like that. Fucking ridiculous. He would have been bang on Tonali's wavelength and to steal that prize. I totally agree, mate. I think we've really dropped the bollock there. I did laugh at the Aaron Ramsdale stories. Mark was texting me about Ramsdale as the game was going on, and was it 15 million quid in Southampton? Remember when Arsenal wanted 50? Not too sure about that, guys. Yeah, glad Newcastle didn't make a move on that one. Fucking no, that would have been absolutely horrific had they done that. Unbelievable. Yeah, Sean says Isak was awful. Do you know what? It's hard to disagree with that. I think he just looks leggy, he looks tired, he looks burnt out. He looks sharper pre-season than he has done now. I just don't understand why he's like that. It's the start of the season. He should be sharp. He should be fit. I do worry about the niggly injuries with Isak. Vince is just saying, are we staying on live for the draw? Do you know, we might as well, because they're gabbing about it now. So yeah, we'll hang on for a bit longer, Vincent, and we'll see what the draw is. Let's see who we get. Ian is saying the most complicated draw ever. What the fuck is it? Do you know, I did try to listen to them talking about it. I do like Chappers, and I just thought, what the fuck is this draw about? It's the biggest pile of shit I've ever heard in my life. It really is, given the Champions League teams, favourable treatment. We didn't get that last season, did we? A load of fucking nonsense. It really is. Terrific lad saying we need to sell Willock. Ask that. The lad is a walking sick. He's so unlucky, man, isn't he? Right, so here's the draw. Liverpool are at home. Who have they got? Let's have a look. So Liverpool at home against, who they got? Big Les has got it. West Ham. Ooh, that's a tough one, isn't it? Liverpool versus West Ham. That is a tough old draw for Liverpool, depending on what West Ham shows up, to be fair. Sure, I understand why the European teams get 4 away and only 2 away. 4 home and 2 away. I've no idea. Absolutely no idea. Just probably to do them a favour. So Manchester City's next out of the hat at home. So who have they got then? Mark's already jumping the gun. You can tell his link's ahead of mine. City v Watford. Shut up in the comments, you, Mark. You're ruining my flow. What's this? Breaking news. Smidgen saying breaking news. Ball spotted on the moon. Yeah, that was an away lose one, I think, wasn't it? I didn't even say so. Yeah, City got Watford. Arsenal at home. Let's see who they've got. Arsenal, Bolton. I told you to stop, Mark. You're ahead of me in the comments. You're not listening. Arsenal and Bolton. Who have got here? Yeah, Bolton Wanderers. God, remember when they used to be in the Premier League? My word. I feel for Willock too, as well, Dean. He looked absolutely livid. He did, didn't he? To be fair, which is a shame from. So who we got next? Manchester United next. Let's see. Vincent's laughing. They're probably me telling Markov. He's not listening though, Vincent. He keeps putting the comments in. So Manchester United at home against Barnsley. So that's a nice favourable draw for Manchester United. As Mark does say, the Euro 6 are getting massively protected here. Newcastle didn't last season, did they? So just typical, really. Let's change the rules this season. Newcastle aren't in Europe. So who's next? Big Les, the handsome devil. He still looks good, doesn't he, Big Les? Still in good nick. So Wycombe Wanderers at home. Who have they got then? Yeah, I remember that one as well. Bloody hell. Yeah, what was that? I can't remember his name now. Fabrice Mwamba. That was it. Yeah, Mark's in the comments. Aston Villa. So Aston Villa got Wycombe away. So that's a good tie for Villa. I think Villa could do the business there. So they'll be happy with that, Villa. That'll ease the pressure for their Champions League fixtures. Coventry at home is the next tie. Michael Dawson's ratcheting away there for the Balls. Very excited to be there. So we've got Coventry. Who they got? Spurs. So that's a nice fixture for Spurs as well, to be fair. We've got here. Steve saying, do all 7 get home games? What the fuck? Yeah. Well, some of them have got away games, mate. We've dodged some big teams. We have. Let's see who's next then. Are we out the hat next? Who we got? 24. That's Walsall. One of my mates at work supports Walsall, so he does a Walsall. Yeah. Who they got? So Walsall have got Leicester City. Good tie for Leicester, that. Every time Geordie is a slight knock, pulls out and plays. Yeah, is this Joe Willock? Yeah, he does. He's starting to get to that Callum Wilson bracket, isn't he? Is Joe Willock. It's not good. So Brentford are at home in their round 3 draw. Who have they got? Brentford have got Leyton Orient. Steady on, Roger. Don't say warm balls. We'll get all them bots in the chat again, mate. You'll set us off. So number 5 is Blackpool. I was just down there the day, my day job, my many travels in the Rantmobile. So Blackpool are at home. Who have they got? Blackpool against Sheffield Wednesday. Bloody hell. Come on, Wednesday. Who we got next? Who's next in the draw? I feel like Toon Review here with a commentary. They're probably still doing it now. Preston. I was there as well today. Preston at home. Who have they got next? Who have they got in the next round? Preston versus Fulham. That is a good tie for Fulham, to be fair, as well. Vincent wants us to get AFC Wimbledon. That'll be a good one. Yeah. We're at home, though, aren't we, I think, in the tie. So Everton are at home. Everton, the proverbial dumpster fire. Who have they got? Give them a big team. Come on, who they got? Hate them. Who they got? Southampton, all Premier League tie. Could be an interesting one, that. They could get beat there, Everton. Let's hope, because they're shit. But Southampton are shit as well. Don't want anyone to win, actually. So the next tie is QPR at home. Anything but Cambridge. Yeah. Don't go Cambridge in your car. You won't get moved. Anyone going to that away game. So QPR have got, who have they got? They got Crystal Palace. Will Mark Gahey be a Crystal Palace player when they play QPR? Let's wait and see. It doesn't matter, because if he comes to us, he'll be fucking cup tied anyway. That was a ridiculous move by the club. Stoke at home. Lloyd Kelly long throws, as Mark was saying the other day. So we've got Stoke at home. Who they got? Fleetwood. So that's a very, very Carabao Cup tie, that, isn't it, really? Come on, where's Newcastle? Come on, Michael Dawson. That's what we care about. Brighton at home in their time. We're coming there from Mark saying, don't think Forest have ever beaten Walsall there, the bogey team. So it did just as well. Yeah. So that's Wolves, Brighton, Wolves. Oh, I think Triffic's already got the is that the fixture? You ahead of me, mate? Wimbledon away? That can't be us. It is Wimbledon away. Yes. We got here we go. So this is you're literally about 20 seconds ahead of me, guys, I think. So yeah, AFC Wimbledon. You wanted the tie? We got the tie. So we've got AFC Wimbledon away. That is Newcastle United's next tie in the Carabao Cup. We've got to be happy with that, guys. Let us know in the comments below if you're happy with that. Yeah, Joe Litton spoilers. Vincent, you did call it, mate. What's the lottery numbers? Give us those, mate. We'll play them this week. But that is a good tie for Newcastle United. So that's very favourable in comparison. Oh, bloody hell. Barrow got Chelsea. Poor bastards. Great tie for Barrow, though, to be fair. But yeah, that is a tough tie for Barrow. I'd love Barrow to beat Chelsea. Could you imagine Chelsea spending £1 billion and Barrow beating them? Absolutely class. Love it. So yeah, Wimbledon away. That'll do for me. Absolutely do for me, as Peter says as well. And Sean says, away, what a surprise. It is absolutely, yeah. And as Lasvar says, another fucking away. So I absolutely just don't drive with a trust the process. Happy clapper, they might upset. Marcus says, Chris, your video of the day. While I was in paradise, I felt a little panicked. I'm feeling much better now. Well, I mean, to be fair, wins do that for you, no matter how they come. Tonight wasn't a great performance. I think, the Forest fans will probably feel a little bit hard done by maybe that Newcastle weren't great when they showed up, but we were, we were clinical from the spot, and they fluffed their chances. I suppose, in hindsight, in the cold light of day, maybe tomorrow when the dust settles, they'll maybe just accept the fact that they didn't put their pens away. And Forest are a decent fan base. I like the Forest fans. They're quite respectful of the result. Really, you don't see them kicking off too much with other fans. The Forest fans, I always felt a bit classier than other fans like Everton, for example. They were shocking, would argue with their own reflection in a fucking toilet mirror, I think, to be fair, Everton fans. But yeah, we did what we needed to do from the spot. We weren't great in the game. What concerns me is going to the weekend, playing against Spurs, a better team with better quality of player. If we fuck around on it and we don't press and we don't try and get way ahead in the game and just put our game on to Spurs like we've done our last two fixtures where they blew them away. If we go up and go 1-0 up and then step back and let the likes of Maddison play and Son find space and players like that, we're going to end up in real trouble. So there needs to be a serious uptake in the performance levels from the lads, because at the minute we've played 3 games and we've not been great in either one of them. To be honest with you, there's not a single thing that really stands out, except probably for Sandro Tonali's return tonight and the fact that he just didn't look like he was off the pace at all. He went back into a massive game and he wanted the ball. He wasn't scared to be on the ball. His touch was good. His vision was there. His movement. I think for his chance as well, I think if he's a little sharper, much more match sharper, which will come, I think he puts that in the back of the net as well and he gets a goal on his return. So, yeah, for me, we need to concentrate now on the window. We need to at least bring in at least one player, if not two, to strengthen this squad. Get Share back from suspension. Get Botman back from injury, get Wilson back from injury, Louis Miley back from injury. And just fatten the quality out of the squad, and then that way we're go into the season in much better shape. But we don't. There's Joe Willock on the TV, poor bastard. I feel so sorry for him. I think Eddie's talking about him now. He looks devastated, crestfallen. I mean, if anything Buns can do to try and sort this lad out and stop getting niggly injuries, but I just feel like he's on that downward spiral of injuries now, Willock, and I really feel bad for him because when he's fit, he's such a good player. But yeah, Spurs is a worry. We need players in, need to perform on Saturday. Vincent says he's very worried about Spurs. Don't see it being the same as the last couple of times we beat them. No, I think they'll show up, Spurs. And I think it will be a really, really difficult game. We'll do the preview for that, but I'm not feeling great about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, I do agree with you, Robert. Tonali's passing was laser sharp. I loved the bit at the end as well. I haven't even spoken about that. So I was watching a bit there after the pens before we come on. And, the lads kind of stood up and encouraged Sandro to go into the crowd. And, I always give them credit. The away fans in Newcastle United's follow and support are unbelievable. They're brilliant. But tonight, unbelievable, singing Sandro's name at the top of their lungs. He ran to the crowd, hugged a few lads, got an Italian flag come out. And even though he's quite a cold, kind of Terminator type style character, you could see him getting emotional, smiling, the eyes filling up a little bit. And I just thought that was amazing to see. And the lad knows he's loved here. He said that we treat him like he's been here for 10 years. And he only played 12 games. And I think he knows, as Vincent says, love the embrace, that he embraced the fans. Absolutely, mate. And I just think that he knows he's loved and he wants to perform for the club and he wants to give back that trust, that the club has shown in him. And I think he will perform. I think he will step up. And, that midfield three of Joe Linton, Bruno and Sandro, if they can click and start to play, boy, howdy, that is a fucking midfield and a half, isn't it? So I think that is going to be really, really exciting to watch. Joe Linton says we need a new right winger. The club needs to get a right winger by Friday. They needed a right winger for the last 3 years, Joe, and they just haven't bothered their arse getting one. I don't know why. I don't know why they put faith in Almiron. He was better tonight, Almiron. I'll give him that. He looked sharper tonight, but there's talk of Fulham being interested in him for 15 million. I'd sell him if Fulham want him. As long as you can bring somebody in, even if they can get a loan to permanent deal. There's lads on the continent. There's been talk of going to Barca to get players. I know Barca are a financial mess, really. I think the Wolf of Wall Street would struggle to find out how to make money out of fucking Barcelona at the minute, even though they just opened a club shop in Madrid, which I thought was fucking hilarious. But there's players at Barcelona who they have to probably move out to register the players that they've just signed. There's Ferran Torres is there, Rafinha's there. If you can do a loan deal for a buy at the end of the season for one of those lads, that could be a brilliant answer to the right wing position. If he's not going to move around Gordon and Barnes, but I just get the feeling that Gordon and Barnes are going to be the ones that he's going to end up playing. He's maybe listening to what people are saying. He's looking at it going, I think they are definitely going to be the two that I need to play. If he perseveres with Almiron and Murphy, I just think it's going to come back and bite him on the arse. I really, really do. We've got a couple of comments there. We'll go here. Terrific is saying, I think Buns is interfering to Eddie's dislike, and that's why we aren't pressing as much and playing shit. Well, I really hope not, because that would be a bit messy. I must admit, if the results don't pick up, and I'm not trying to be negative in the aftermath of a win, if the results don't pick up, and once these favourable fixtures run out in the Premier League and we run up against some serious teams, if we start getting pumped, I do fear for Eddie's job, especially without that level of support from Amanda and Murdad at the top. I really think he'll be exposed. So I hope that we can get players in we need to strengthen the squad, because he needs that as a manager. He needs those options, and he has to play the best players that he can, and he has to try and win games. Can't be negative. We've got to step on the teams. We've got to press. We've got to put our game on them. There is times where we have to sit back and absorb the pressure, like when you're playing City and Liverpool and teams like that. But even Brighton this season. But I think there's certain games where you just got to press. You just got to press on to those teams and try and play your game. Tonight was one of those examples. After we went 1-0 up so early, we should have pressed. We should have went 2 or 3 up, and then Forest would have tipped over, but we let them back in the game. And I think if Forest had a more clinical centre forward in the park, I think they could have got back into that game and maybe gone ahead. So, I think we were very lucky that they didn't, in all fairness. Abby saying we need to get a good right wing and a sharp defender. But Barnes did well as that right wing position. I thought he did. Abby, I thought he looked really sharp when he was on the right with Tino. Some lovely link-up play. And I really hope this noise from the likes of, Craig Hope, when they're asking Eddie, and he said, I'm not going to play the two together. I hope it's just bullshit. Because I don't see why he wouldn't. I really don't see why he wouldn't. Because they're so dynamic, the two of them, and they can swap sides. You saw that tonight. I mean, if you had Isak, Gordon and Barnes all interchanging position, it'd be a defender's fucking nightmare. So I don't understand why you wouldn't try that. At least try it in a couple of games and just see how it happens. Tony O'Donnell, God, you throw me with them letters there. I feel like I'm at a fucking eye test. Wolf of Wall Street would struggle to buy Almiron. Murphy, dare I say, Longstaff. I feel bad after he scored the winner, but he's mediocre at best. Still haven't seen our A team as yet. Worrying. Yeah, I think our A team's injured is the thing, Tony. I think if you look at the players who are missing, Botman missing, he gets in the team straight away. If we sign Gahey, he would get in the team straight away. I mean, if let's just say we sign even just Mark Gahey, your team's probably going to be Nick Pope, Tino Livramento, Gahey, Botman, Lewis Hall, your midfield three of Bruno, Joe Litton and Sandro. And then currently your front three would be Gordon, Isak and Barnes. And if they all stay fit, that's a really strong 11. And that's a top 6 11. But will they stay fit? That's the question. You just don't know. Joe Litton seems to be going up and down like a fireman on a pole for his form in a minute. So, it's very difficult to kind of figure out what's going on. Jamie saying we haven't lost chill. We can just judge come Sunday against Spurs. For now, shut it. I don't know who you're saying shut it to, mate. Is that people in the comments or is that me? So, I can see why you've got sparkling conversation there, Jamie. You must be a real joy at parties, mate. People must line up to come and talk to you, Bonnie lad. So a few more comments on there. I've got here. Abby saying that Eddie should play Sanusi. I mean, how bad can he be? I mean, he looked a little bit headless in the pre-season games. I think he had all the pace and he had all the tricks, but didn't quite have the end product. And I just worry that as a young winger, he might get a few people, kind of jumping on him if he misplaces a few crosses and stuff like that. Miley was a bit different. I think Miley's got a sharper brain as well. So I think Miley was able to step in as a 17-year-old and do it. But I think for that young winger, it could be dangerous if he fucks up. Trevor saying next 40 hours crucial. There should be no excuse for this transfer window. I don't disagree with that, mate. I think that they've had plenty of time to sort this out. And I just don't think, sorry, Jamie's just clarifying people in the comments. Okay, thanks, mate. I'll take that back. But yeah, I mean, people are entitled to their opinion, Jamie. Can't tell them we shouldn't, mate. If they trust the process, fine. If they don't and they got doubts, fine. There's room for plenty of that in the Evermore chat. John is saying not buying Mamardashvili could be a mistake. Pope looks like he's in a decline. I must admit, John, I'm livid that they've signed Mamardashvili. I think he's a brilliant keeper. He looked class in the Euros. And if we end up with Trafford, fucking hell, I just don't rate the kid. I really don't. He's dining out in that under-21 tournament. He was pissed at Burnley. He got shoved all over the place, and he got replaced by a shite goalkeeper as Burnley went down. And yeah, for me, I don't see it. I really don't. Fucking Chris Kirkland all over again, in my opinion, if we sign Trafford. I just trust Chris and Mark. Very good, Ian. I'm glad you trust us, mate, which is good. Yeah, I do agree with that. Dean will look better when the wingers swap sides. They do. I think that's something that Eddie should explore more. I really, really do. There's no reason that we can't play those two either side of Isak and have them swapping sides. It's just, I think they would absolutely murder defenses. I mean, Barnes looked sharp tonight. He did fade a bit. I think in the second half, he kind of tailed off a little bit. Me and Mark were talking about man of the match, because my choice was Hall or Barnes, and Barnes tailed off a little bit. Big shout out to Emil Kraft. I must say, I thought Emil Kraft was brilliant tonight. Really steady, didn't fuck around, good positional sense. Didn't piss around with the ball, cleared it, played it simple. I thought Kraft was really solid tonight, and I'm quite happy Kraft's the squad member. I was a bit iffy when they gave him a contract extension, but the lad can play fullback or centre half and do a job. So I actually think Emil Kraft was good tonight. I'll give him the credit for that. Another comment from Phil saying, "Hope we don't get Gay just to piss Parish off." Yeah, I mean, the fact they've gone so far down the line with it, Philip, I think is they are going to get Gay, I think, but he's cup tied. I mean, that's a tournament he can't play in. Yes, he can play in the FA Cup, but he can't play in this cup. So for the next round, Gay, he can't even play. So, but Kraft did do a good job tonight, to be fair to him. So, it's good to see that we have a little bit of depth in there as well. Vincent's saying he's heard some people saying Barnes is lazy sometimes. He's not lazier than ASM, mate. That'll be the ASM fans, I suppose. Yeah, I do agree with Roger. 70 million quid for a good cup-tied CB is over the top for me. Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. Trevor's saying Bruno is a proper club captain. You see how much he cares. I love that he was praying to the man upstairs, wasn't he? Then he I don't know if you noticed, he pointed at Nick Pope and he went, "Save it. Like that." And Nick Pope, I thought was brilliant. Basically just telling Pope to do his job, which I thot was absolutely class. Very Roy Keane-esque, really, from Bruno there. Do your job. But I was all right for a Roy Keane, actually. My first attempt. I'm quite happy with that. Not as good as my Steve Bruce one. I'll work on it. But yeah, for me, I think that Barnes is a really good player. I think we need to give him a chance. And I just think that he will show the quality that he's got. He'll get goals. If Barnes stays fit for this season, he doesn't have a gammy toe, he'll get double figures. He'll get 10 goals this season. That's what we need. Graham Travels, good to see you, buddy. Win on pens for the two. What's going on? Absolutely. What's going on is we're one, mate. We're through the next round. That's what we're saying. Marcus is saying Barnes is articulate. I think he's helped Gordon. He's very articulate. He sounds very middle class, does Harvey Barnes, doesn't he? When you can see he's had a good upbringing, to be fair to him. But listen, he's a good footballer as well, and that's what we want. Trivik is saying we can't allow Trippier to leave. He looked way more focused tonight. We still need his leadership. Do you know what? I absolutely agree with that. I think that Trippier is such a good captain. And just for you, Trevor, so he is a very good captain. He's still a good player. He still offers something to the team. He's got that leadership. He's got that calmness. I don't think Tino's quite there yet. As we said on Monday, he does have some areas of his game that he needs to sharpen up. But tonight he looked a lot sharper, Tino. But he will have hot and cold games. He's maybe not quite ready to start week in, week out. So yeah, Trippier is going to be the main guy, maybe moving forward for big games and games where you need that calmness, that leadership. Magic saying the service to our front three is appalling yet again. With 3 games in the season, it seems like we haven't got out first gear yet. Now, I don't disagree. I think the service has been very, very wanting. And I think that, Isak himself will be pissed off about the lack of service. But I think having Sandro back in the team, with Bruno there, the two of them can really get on the ball and find those passes through the lines to Isak. And again, as I said, with Lewis Hall as well there. I think that there's some real quality on the pitch to get Isak the ball, and Spurs is Isak's game. We know that. So hopefully he turns up at the weekend. So captain him in your FPL, even though I don't play it. Fuck it, I'm just giving you free advice. Shez is saying, "Hi Chris, hope you're well, man. Good to see you, Shez. I haven't seen you in a while, but missed the entire game in a crappy stream. Oh, mate. But buzzing for the win and for Tonali. Happy to hear that Bruno's taken so well to the captaincy. Yeah, he's been class, to be fair. Absolutely brilliant." Vincent saying 442 released a good detailed video in Gahey, which makes me back in favour of the signing once again. Only worry about his height, but Cannavaro wasn't at all. See, no, he wasn't, mate. He wasn't at all. Yeah, they do good videos, the old 442 guys, to be fair. They do look a lot in a lot of detail to it. Would be Farmer, excuse me, rough start of the season. Yeah, we've not lost. That's a fair point. Perhaps you're deserving of the luck we didn't get last season. Maybe you are right, mate. Maybe you are right. A couple more comments, then we'll shoot, guys, because it is getting late in the UK. To coin a phrase saying, don't give the greedy bastard 70 million. Come back for Gay in January and offer 20 million quid or 20 quid. Half a tank of petrol and a year's worth of prescription to the Viz. Hey, the Viz is top quality, mate. You don't want to give that away too easy. Dave Bowman is saying, nice draw. Joe Linton, not great again today. Barnes very good. Tonali is so calm on the ball. Yeah, I agree with the Barnes thing again, Dave. Barnes has got to start for me. He's got to start. He's got that dynamic play in the final third. He wants to either cut in and shoot, or he wants to create. And I just think he just more games for Barnes, the sharper he's going to get, and the better he's going to get, and the more goals and assists he's going to get. So you got to play him. I mean, Miggy did much better tonight, but I just think he was, again, he'll go off the boil again. Steve said, finally found a way to make a thank you payment. Thank you very much, Steve. We really appreciate that, buddy. And well deserved. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate the kind words as well. Yeah, Cloud says, sign some players. Absolutely. We've got the Clon lad saying Barnes should start right. Going my natural left. Yeah, I agree with that. I think, but you can interchange them, as we said before, because they are very, very good players that can interchange. And a lot of other top teams do that with their wingers as well. They don't just stick to one position. They float, they move, they're fluid in amongst the front three. I mean, you think about that Liverpool front three, which was incredible. When they had Salah, Mane, and Firmino, they interchanged all of the time. And that's what top teams do. So why can't our front three do that? Don't have to be rigid and stick them in one spot and keep them there. That's just, that's not what good teams do. So yeah, I'll be really excited if we do start with the Notorious B.I.G. at the weekend, and they really go at it. And if they're all at it and the backs are up and they want to go for it, I tell you something, I think they'll be absolutely class at the weekend. So that's me done then, guys, for tonight. Thank you so much for jumping on the stream. It always helps the post matches flow when you guys are in the comments. It wasn't a great deal of highlights from the game, but we got the job done. Thanks to Sean Longstaff for taking the cool penalty when it mattered the most. Newcastle through the next round. Bring on AFC Wimbledon and the Wombles, as Marcus just put up there in the comments. He's sharp. He's very sharp. So he's nearly as sharp as a Sandro Tonali pass. Great to have him back. Hope he enjoys his night. You enjoy your morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are, guys. Have a belter. And we'll see you on the next Evermore. Cheers.